I did a video previously on Ryze mains and how they're getting on. The spoiler alert is not great, and I'd like to watch this.
They've gotten worse. I didn't think it was possible for Ryze mains to get any worse than they already were, but we gotta do something about this now. If you stumbled upon this video, you might not be aware of the situation at all, so let me give you a quick rundown and catch you up. Ryze has not been above 50% win rate since mid-2016, and that is not a sentence that I can just casually lay out there. Let me see if I can paint you a picture of it.
That is the most insane thing of all time. I watched the first like 30 seconds of this before, and I honestly didn't believe that.
It has been nearly 6 years, over 2,000 full days.
Word of horror music as well
so
in the background.
Peaked above the surface of mediocrity. We are in the Ryze dark ages, and we've been there for like way too long. Think about when you first started playing League of Legends. There's probably a big chunk of you that have never seen Ryze as a good character throughout your entire career. We saw Riot rework their entire in-game currency system before they substantially buffed Ryze. I'm convinced that there would be a fucking sequel to this game before they would give Ryze a single crumb of viability, and even then, who knows if they would even invite this motherfucker to League 2. Ryze mains have been enduring mind-numbing suffering on the Rift for, yeah, I'm gonna repeat it again for emphasis, 6 long years. And no matter how many goddamn reworks Ryze players get, they just can't get the character off the ground in casual play. And what do you do when your main is sub 50 for 6 years? Where does your mind even go? This is intense and prolonged psychological torture, but for Ryze mains, it's a simple everyday reality. It's gotten bad enough that the pinned post on the front page of the subreddit is now the suicide prevention hotline. And because of this, the community has been headed down a dark path for a while now, and this is mostly what I covered in my first video on the topic 3 years ago. But now that this hopelessness has literally doubled with no end in sight, many of these Ryze players have given up holding on to their sanity entirely and have embraced their place in this world that has been so cruel to them. I put out a general feeler on the subreddit to see if everyone was okay, and this user responded saying that he was becoming Ryze in real life. This user is questioning if his entire perception of reality is a result of psychosis, and his name on Reddit is "May Death Free Us." We've even got a guy whose mental illness has advanced so far that he's building Electrocute on Ryze. The severity of the insanity that is hosted on the Ryze main subreddit is hard to understand for an outsider, and many of the users on here are extremely prolific. There's no shortage of unhinged rambling. There is no shortage of despondent cries for a rework or a reversion. Is that a real word? Basically, there's no shortage of crazy shit, and we're just getting started. Like, can I just take this excuse to show you some of the Ryze posts I've been collecting? Because some of these go hard as
I've seen so many good ones. I did like a video on this as well. This is what I think
would happen if Ryze fought Lysandra. Serious lore post. He says, "Ha!" and he obliterates her with an EQ. We only need to EQ. Ryze mains are the most oppressed minority in North America. We are those who speak but are not listened to. We are the silent cogs in the machine. Pathetic. I just want to talk about Ryze jungle. Dear God, why I love Ryze's blue color so much. Why I jack off to it every night. It's because it's the same color as my wife's eyes. Does Ryze have any magic tattoos? I love blue. Any idea? OMG, awesome. Don't talk to me. Don't listen to these people. They will only try to sell you government lies like Ryze isn't real or you need to go back to the asylum. Ryze told me that if these people ever try to stop me again, I will have to EQ. I don't need help. I need EQ. I don't need help. I need EQ. I don't need help. I need EQ, my brother.
EQ!
Blue paint is temporary. Silver is eternal. Everyone suggests drinking antifreeze or painting your body blue, but those are not permanent solutions. But Argyria is. To gain this immense power, you just have to rub silver dust on your body for a couple of years. We will become the real physical vessels for Ryze. What the f*** is Argyria?
Holy shit, I don't know if I can show that on YouTube. It's like a picture of an old guy and his skin's turned blue because he has a horrible disease.
Now is a good time to mention that for only 15 cents a day, you can sponsor a Ryze main. This will get him the food, the water, the blue body paint, and the shelter.
This is so good.
Alright, let's talk about some major moments.
Some real
of
good
Ryze's
commentary here.
And as the
So
title card
good.
suggests, no historical study of Ryze is complete without mention of the Katarina invasion. This is one of the most offensive examples of the long-standing mistreatment Ryze players have become accustomed to. And I'm including when they took away the ability to Zhonya's through a realm warp. So Katarina's win rate dipped below 50% for a bit longer than the cat mains were comfortable with. And yes, I'm gonna editorialize a bit here. Showing extreme entitlement and lack of perspective, these cat mains began flocking to the Ryze subreddit saying that they were just like the Ryze mains and that they too experienced a similar level of oppression. Now this is extremely frustrating to imagine even for someone like me who doesn't even play Ryze, but it gets worse. You might want to sit down for this if you're a Ryze player who's hearing about this for the first time, because good lord. Take a look at Katarina's win rate graph. We are looking comfortably above 50% for long periods of time here. And this graph shows that Katarina has been good or great for about as long as Ryze has been bad. The Ryze mains were justifiably enraged and ousted the Katarina mains from their community with mockery and contempt. As one user put it, Ryze and Katarina, we are not the same. These so-called Katarina players, these humans, claim to be upon our level. These claims are nothing short of delusions. They claim they are with us, that we are one and the same. In reality, we could not be further apart. Truly are the Katarina mains disillusioned and insane to believe that they are anywhere near our Ryze. There are many reasons why Katarina will never be with us. Never will they be allowed in our ranks. No.
Dude, Ryze players are actually doom posting so hard. It's insane.
Number one, Katarina is red. If you're a cat main and you're watching this video, I would advise you to choose your words carefully around Ryze players. There is a deep cultural resentment for your kind, and it's best that you don't stir up trouble. The other historical event that I would consider as integral to understanding the state of Ryze mains today is what they would call the plan. Now, I am not insinuating
I love the plan.
that there are any Ryze players on any forums that would intentionally lose games,
I love the
especially
plan.
not ranked games. The only thing that I will state in regards to the plan is that if a large amount of players were to engage in this type of behavior and lower the win rate far enough, which let me be clear, I have no knowledge of this happening in any forum, especially not the Ryze main subreddit, then Riot would have to give him a buff eventually. Right? The idea is that Ryze has been so fundamentally broken for so long that in order to find success on the characters, players are going to need to think outside of the box. Now this sounds like a shitpost. No, this is really happening. The Ryze stats have gotten low enough that players who deviate from the plan are getting higher evaluations from just playing the game correctly. And that is a testament to just how serious Ryze mains are about this plan. Many of the people on the subreddit have posted evidence of their friends running games down as Ryze and lowering the win rate as much as possible. Many others police the guidelines of the plan and make sure other followers don't lose the faith and start playing to win. It's created a really tense environment where some users even feel inclined to communicate in runic language to hide their intentions from anyone who might sabotage the plan. And this, more than anything else I've seen really, demonstrates the desperation of a Ryze player. And if you see a Ryze running it down mid in your ranked game, just remember to pour one out for him before you hit the report button, please.
Oh man, played against a Ryze player. I remember, I think I was in like one of the Nuzlocks or something, and I mentioned the plan, and he was like, I hate those memes. So anyway, I like focused on the entire game and made him go like 2-8.
Okay, last section. Take a look at this graph. This is Ryze's win rate over a long period of time. Now there is one thing about this line that might be standing out to you. That's right. It's green. But also we get a pretty serious fucking spike in win rate right here, and this actually breaks the 6-year shit streak that I mentioned earlier. But look at how short and sudden this was. This almost hit 70%. To put that in context, this is approaching the world record highest win rate in League of Legends history, which data suggests, and I quote, could have been as high as 72%. This win rate, of course, belonging to Skarner. What the hell?
Really?
Now, how in God's
true?
sweet name did a character like Ryze get this powerful this quickly? Well, the short answer is that the CIA doesn't want you to know this ever happened. I've been obsessively searching for the cause of this spike for a while now, and nothing seems to line up correctly. The guys from the subreddit discussed this a little bit ago, so I read through that thread, and according to these Ryze masters, there are 3 theories as to why this could have happened. The first one is desperate power in its heyday, but this is wrong. The Ryze rework that deleted desperate power from the game happened on July 13th, 2016, well before the spike took place, so it doesn't line up. So I moved on to the next possibility. Number 2. Permaflux. Now, I'm not gonna pretend to even slightly know what this means, but my friend who does play a bit of Ryze helped me out. There was a bug before patch 9.14 that allowed Ryze to infinitely bounce his Q and E between 2 targets. This created an unintended combo with extreme consequences, and I really thought this would be the answer. But again, the timing just does not line up.
I miss Spellflux a lot, man. I loved Spellflux. I preferred old Ryze where like you pressed R and all it did was make your QEW have like a little lightning effect around it, and it was just an AoE. Everything else, it was so good. I actually liked Ryze then.
Addressed this bug came out in 2019, which again just does not line up. The patch that addressed this bug came out in 2019, which again is after the win rate spike, so this leaves us with only one solid lead, the Archangel rework. But again, this does not line up. At the time Ryze's win rate was high, the surrounding patches do not include any mention of Archangel staff outside of Howling Abyss. These patches also contain only small quality of life changes to Ryze that would have no chance of affecting him on this kind of absurd level. And seeing this deeply confused me. Like, I'm still not feeling confident presenting this now after all of this scripting and editing because I feel like I gotta be missing something. And that's how I felt as I was researching. There has to be something, somewhere, that would explain this insane jump, and I couldn't understand how a win rate could get so monumentally high with no explanation. There was no evidence of item changes, no substantial buffs, no bugs, not even a single hotfix to even begin to explain this. But then it hit me. Patch 7.10, released May 17th, 2017, perfectly placed at the end of Ryze's win rate spike. The bug fix that explains it all. SKT Ryze. Broccoli is now properly centered during his recall animation. The timing was just too perfect. So I went deeper down the rabbit hole and I looked up the skin spotlight for SKT Ryze because up until now I wasn't even aware that there was any broccoli in his recall animation to begin with.
RSSS1, RSSS2, RSSS3, RSSS...
Any broccoli in his recall animation to begin with. Oh yeah, that's right, because there is no broccoli in SKT Ryze's recall animation. I put Ryze broccoli in the YouTube search bar. Third result. This is a clip of Faker from 2015 at a pro play event eating broccoli.
There, that's raw. He's gonna do it. That's the kind of minerals you need there, sir.
Why? The commentators claim that a fan gave him the broccoli as an absurd joke because his hair allegedly looks like broccoli. I don't buy it. Listen to what the commentators say as Faker eats the broccoli.
That's the difference between a bad, a good, and an exceptional Ryze player is the amount of broccoli you eat raw.
Oh my god. And you're telling me that it was a coincidence that Ryze's win rate spike came to a screeching halt at the exact same time this so-called innocuous bug fix went live around the world? Absolutely not. The evidence is clear that raw broccoli has always been the source of Ryze's power, and now all connection between Ryze and broccoli has been scrubbed from the internet by Riot's balancing team and shadowy deep state agents who are afraid of Ryze's potential. Well, now I know the truth, and I won't be going down that easy. I am here telling you to wake up and to eat your goddamn vegetables before it's too late. One day we will all realm warp inside a Riot headquarters with a blue flag and a dream. I've seen you down for too long, and now it's Ryzen time. Well, okay, that joke is not worth the copyright strike. Just subscribe. I'm gonna end the video.
Oh man, oh man, that was good. Oh boy, gotta give that a like as well. Oh man, it's all part of, I love the plan. I love the plan so much. This is so good. Oh man, I might have to do like some jungle Ryze and stick to the plan. just to show my solidarity with that community.